Hello, good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox, here on the show tonight is Portbear and Bridgman. How are we doing, chaps?
Well, can I say a huge good evening to you two guys? Massive good evening to the guys in the lobby, to all the Rangers fans that are listening in all over the world. Good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
Portbear?
All right, Ox, how we doing? All right, Bridgman, good to hear you on.
Portbear.
I had a lovely wee day with my good lady. This is my 16th wedding anniversary day, but still loyal to the cause on Rangers Radio.
16 weddings?
16 years married.
Oh, 16 years married to the same woman. Okay, I thought you said 16 weddings.
To be fair, Bridgman, I phoned him at 7:30. He says, I'll be with you and I'm finished. He was on at 7:32. You know, congratulations on the mission. He says, whatever way you want to look at it.
Yes. A big congratulations to you, pal. A big congratulations.
Aye.
And the same to your good lady. Okay, so we had an eventful night at Ibrox last night. Our greatest European performance. I don't know if the clean sheets, so doesn't matter as much now with away goals going, but we won the tie. Showed a bit of character in the second half, but let's be honest, Bridgman, just briefly before I get Portsmouth, it wasn't a great performance, was it?
Very poor performance, particularly first half.
Yes.
Second half, they sort of brought themselves around a wee bit, and that's what gave us the possibility of a victory, and we got it.
Aye, Portbear.
Aye, mate. You know, very untidy start by Rangers, and like I said the other night on the show when I was last on, you can't underestimate any of these teams in Europe at these stages. As much as they're probably miles and leagues behind us, they still showed up, had a plan to stop Rangers, mate. And I mean, they almost got out there with probably the result they wanted. But to use one of the manager's words, this team have to wake up right now, Ox. Here, they can't continue to play like this, mate.
Yeah, there's a cog in the wheel missing, definitely something missing. But I'm sure we'll come back to it. I think it makes sense for us to get the view from the bridge, Port, and we can discuss it. Yeah,
100%, mate. 100%.
Yeah, let's hear the view from the bridge.
Oh, good evening and welcome to A View from the Bridge for the Rangers versus Alashkert game last night, 19th of August 2021, the Europa League qualification tie. My major comments on it is we have succeeded in getting a 1-0 win in the first leg of this tie, though I didn't think we would. With such a poor first half, after such a poor first half performance for some of our team, I thought that Bassey was the best of them in the first half, and he was great in the second half as well. I thought that John Lundstrom would be an excellent signing for us, particularly in the big vital games like last night's. However, his poor decision making last night in the first half, tail end of the first half, left a lot to be desired, and very nearly cost us the tie. Up until the red card, he had been playing quite well, about the same as the rest of the team, really. The fans were extremely frustrated with their first half performance and let the team know at half time, for sure. I do hope Lundstrom improves over time, but if our new signing, Bacuna, hits the ground running and Ryan Jack returns to fitness as predicted in a couple of weeks, his future opportunities may well be curtailed slightly and be few and far between. I'm hopeful he can get over this mishap and shine for us in the future games. We didn't cover ourselves in glory in the first half at all. One good chance fell for Jack, who hit the bar, and that's all. Alashkert hardly set foot in the Rangers half the whole of the first half, first 45, but they kept possession well. Half time 0-0. The second half, Scott Wright replaced the out-of-form Ryan Kent, and his pace and direct play made a massive difference to the performance, helping with a great response from the team in the second half. This second half performance should have put any accusations that Rangers can't play in front of a crowd to bed. They played much better, down to 10 men and got pelters for my first half, and it was a great response from the team, and they should have even more than one goal, and a much improved second half, and a great performance from Scott Wright. Rangers didn't commit to too many players and allowed Alan Stewart to play their game and break only when we got the ball. We found it difficult to create chances, but when we did, the crowd were well up and behind the team. Around the 58-minute mark, Tavernier put in a great cross, which the keeper beat Morelos to the ball, and Morelos got a wee chance, and he tried an overhead kick, but was just cleared off the line. Rangers up to pressure and tempo of the game. Alice Stewart were hanging on. On 98 and 59 minutes, a great cross from Hadji found Morelos, who gets in a great header, which goes just wide. A wee sitter missed there by Alfie, I think. Best chance of the night. Around 67 minutes, Tavernier put in a great chip over the Alice Stewart midfield and defence for Morelos to run onto, and he did look offside to me, but the referee played on. No whistle. And he ran on, got possession and into the box. The whole stadium held its breath while Alfie gave the keeper the eye, and before smashing a low ball through his legs and into the net. Ibrox erupted, and all the fans were so happy. Another goal for Alfie in Europe. What a player. I don't know if any other player we have could have held their nerve last night and scored such a goal. Full time, 1-0 for Rangers. Player by player, 10 out of 10, if you follow what I mean. McGregor 6, Tavernier 6, Goldson 7, Elner 7, Bassey 8, Lundstrom 5, Davis 8, Aribo 7, Hadji 7, Morelos 8, Kent 5. I gave my man of the match last night to Bassey, Mr. Bassey. I thought he played a very good game and well worthy of his place. And I think Mr. Borna Barisic is going to struggle to get back into our Rangers team. Stats, possession 51% for Rangers, 49% for Alice Stewart. Total shots 19 for Rangers and 1 for Alice Stewart. Shots on target, Rangers 2, Alice Stewart 0. Corner 6 for Rangers, 1 for Alice Stewart. Fouls 11 for Rangers and 12 for Alice Stewart. Yellow cards 3 each. Red cards 1 for Rangers, 0 for them. And that is the end of A View from a Bridge.
Can take anymore. View from the bridge. Can take anymore.
Don't take offence, Chris, but I think the best bit's always the jingle.
Aye, indeed.
I like the jingle, I must admit that. Okay, I think we'll take the big talking point in the night. And by the way, I think you were very generous for your marks for this individual last night's performance, Bridge. John Lundstrom, Portmere.
The conundrum is, mate, John Lundstrom. I have to admit, I'm with Bridge. I was very excited when we signed him. Premier League player. Had watched him playing in Sheffield United's first season, and that's what I really went on. I went on his quality in his first season, where he would make long busting runs into the box, connect, link up with his front players, scored a fair share of goals in his first season in the Premier League. But so far, mate, he's shown me that that blue jersey may be too big for him, mate. And I don't want to be too hypercritical of him, but them 2 bookings, mate, if I'm managing an under 12s or 10s team, I'm telling my kids, even at that age group, if you get a book in the first half, you know, you're taking them aside and you're saying you need to be really careful, you're treading into an ice wee man. You know, and an experienced player, him, let's face it, he's 27. He makes a stupid pull, caught goal side the first time, pulls a guy back, caught goal side the second time, and does the exact same thing, mate. What is he thinking about? This is an experienced player. We're talking about Premier League and Championship player.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't.
It was a schoolboy error, mate.
That's exactly.
It was a schoolboy error. You're right.
Indeed.
I think the 2 bookings were petty, and they were bookings, and I don't think we can be critical of the ref. Even Bridge never mentioned them. What he was thinking about the second booking, 65, 70 yards for his own goal, it's nothing each. There's still all that time to go, mate. It just doesn't make sense, does it?
Well, there's plenty of players in about him, mate, that could have made that tackle. You know, he didn't need to pull him back. If that's on the edge of your box or he's burning in goal, mate, I understand it. You take one for the team and you're walking off the park. If it's like stopping a goal scoring chance, etc. But 70 yards for goal, mate, I can't understand it for the life of me.
Yes, as you well know, you joined the conversation earlier, but Fox was take one for the team. You know?
Can I just say on that? I think that Lundstrom is still half a yard to a yard short on match fitness.
When do you get that then? He's played.
I don't know. He's got to play. He's got to play. He's got to play and show he's playing and be confident in what he's doing. And he isn't confident because he's not quite match fit. So it might be another 6 games before he gets a chance to do it right. That's the way I'm looking at it anyway.
Have we got 6 games, Bridge?
No, I don't know. I'm saying that for him, only for him, he has to show it. He has to show in training that he's match fit. He's got to do it. He obviously can't be 100% match fit because those two were the silly tackles.
I don't agree. With the greatest respect, Bridge, I don't agree with you. If he's not match fit, no. Since we started pre-season, must be 6 weeks ago, maybe longer. He's played half a dozen matches. He played away in Malmo the full game. He's played against Dundee United. He's played against Dunfermline. He's now played against some of the friendlies he played in as well. I can't remember how many minutes he got against Livingston. And then I just think at the moment he's maybe come up and he's not got to the expectations of playing with the Rangers. And he has to realise that every game's important. Not just when you're playing Dunfermline in a League Cup final, when you get League Cup time, you can swan about.
He's most assuredly way below par. Let's put it that way. Most assuredly.
I don't disagree with that, Bridge. I don't disagree with that. But we'll see it as it is, and I'll go to Port with us. We gave him credit for his performance against Dunfermline, but we did say it was against Dunfermline. His decision making last night and his speed of his game last night was appalling. Portbear.
I think he thinks he's still playing the Premiership, mate, where you get time in the ball, you know, and you can stand with your foot in the ball and have a wee look up and ping a 30, 40 yard pass, the World Cup ball. And I think he's been really caught with the pace, even the European game, mate. I mean, that team, the Armenian champions, they were one of the greatest, you know, technical team, but they got stuck in. They get stuck in where they could. And this is where I think he's been found out in the Scottish game as well, mate. I think he thinks he's going to get time. He's going to get, you know, a chance to get his head up and make these passes. But if you watch his pass rate, mate, he very rarely makes a pass. A completed pass, sorry, I'll rephrase that. He very rarely makes a completed pass. And there was a ball last night he tried to switch it to Ryan Kent, and it was miles of Ryan Kent's head because he got the pitch. You know, I understand people can make slack passes, Oxtear, but this guy, I agree with you. This guy's been in pre-season and he's as far back as Tranmere. I'm going to go to the very first game he played. He had some minutes in that game, and then he's had minutes against Real Madrid into the league campaign and the cup campaign. He's had enough minutes for me to suggest that he should be up to match sharpness or thereabouts. I can't understand why he's still not grasped this game, or why nobody's maybe taken him aside and says, John, you're not giving us enough. You know, you need to be quicker, son. You need to get your head up and get that ball moving quicker, because he gets caught in the ball constantly, Oxtear. You know, he gets misplacing passes. Caught goal side twice last night. It's as if he doesn't see the danger in behind him, Oxtear. That's one of my big things against him. He doesn't seem to see the danger in behind him. And this is how he's getting caught out, and this is how these tugs happened last night.
Yeah, look, he wasn't the only one. He'll grab the headlines, and Bridge rightly pointed out, with some decent performances and showed character in the second half, and went on and won the tie by 10 men. But he is the main talking point of last night, yeah? Port?
Yeah, mate, aye, definitely. He's seen as a big money. We got him on a free, but he's seen as a big Premiership signing. He's seen as the marquee signing. He was the guy, you know, wanted to come up here because of Steven Gerrard. That was his idol, you know. And if Gary McAllister and Steven Gerrard, Steve Davis, if this guy can't learn after these 3 Oxtear, then we've got a real problem. And this makes me wonder about the Bacuna signing. You know, is it Ryan Jack what they're worried about, or is Steven Gerrard and Maka and Beale, etc., seen something in training that they think maybe this guy's not going to make the grade? I don't know, mate. I'm just guessing here, but he's so far, mate. He's not for me, and I hate saying that about Rangers. But
you can only critique Bridge what you see, yeah, Bridgeman.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, I don't want to criticise the team anymore tonight in that sense, in the sense that
you're always very generous.
Well, I think we did what we could do. That team were a very technical team, and they played to their own strengths, and their strengths was hold the ball and keep it away from the Rangers players. Don't give them the ball. And they did that for a good 50% of that game last night. They held the ball, and they were springing passes a wee bit forward, and all of a sudden they're back to the goalkeeper, who I thought had a really good game because most of his play was on his feet. You know, so the ball to his feet, and he was stroking the ball among the midfielders and the defenders. And I thought that was, for them, super. For Rangers, terrible. Terrible.
You made a great comment during your view for the Bridge, and I don't even know if you realised you'd done it, mate. I think the issue was Port Bear, Bridge came out with a start, 19 efforts at goal, 2 in target, mate.
2 in target. Wow. I mean, next year, we're in competitions, and these guys are at a club. But right now, we can't afford to be where we are. You know, and the way we're playing, we can't afford to be starting the season like this. I keep saying it. This is a £30 million season. This qualifier again creates money if we get to European Cup stage, European group stages. This is what it means to me, Oxy. I think about the money side more than I used to in football. But what's worrying me is the football and part of this team at the moment isn't gelling. There's something I miss. But also the financial implications are not winning this league or going so many points behind in this league, Oxy, or not qualifying. Really worry me, mate.
We have to put it in perspective. We're ahead of the tie. Bridgeman summed it up. We did look better than them. Let's hope we can put the tie to bed next week. But we also have to critique the players and take it as on last night's performance. Lundstrom, Bridge gave him a 5. I'm giving him a 3, and that's for getting his name spelt. 2 of them was for getting his name spelt in the back of his shirt. Ryan Kent's no far ahead of him, in my opinion, Port Bear. I think some of it's confidence with Ryan Kent, and it'd been interesting how his game would have went when he missed. Let's be honest, Port, he missed a sitter. He never hit the target, mate. He hit the bar with it for 10 yards.
Hi, mate, howler, absolute howler. Ryan Kent last year would have busted it with that. And if you're not in form, you're always taught, mate, low and hard across the keeper, and then the keeper has to palm it out and make him into Morelos' path or whoever it was at the back post for a tap in. But he tries to bust in it, mate, and waste confidence. That's what happens when your confidence down, mate, I'm afraid.
Aye. He hasn't been playing well since we raved about him against Real Madrid. He's actually not kicked a ball, really. You know, so to be honest, you know, we can't say he's playing well when he's no, mate. He was poor again last night. I wonder if he's been carrying. Anyway, we'll be joined by a new caller. Evening, Gary.
Good evening, guys. How's things?
How we doing, mate? Nice to speak to you. What's on your mind, mate?
No, man, Nate. Just, I'm actually sitting here. Sorry, got coronavirus, man. My throat's knackered here. But anyway,
Go to the studio.
I go to the studio. I know. Listen, just to hang. Well, obviously we're in 5 games into the season, right? I know obviously everybody's always talking about how well we played last year, but that's last year. Get that out of the road. That's done and dusted. That's gone. So now I've got fellow Celtics supporters going like that to me. Oh, we can't play in front of fans. What a lot of nonsense. I say to them, listen, you worry about your team, but see, we're going to Lindstrom and Kent. See, Kent Jink. He's not been the same even last year. I know. See the last couple of games, Kent's no ticked his backside. Do you know what I mean? Never mind 5 games into this season.
No, I don't think to the last All Firm League game he was excellent, mate. Yeah.
Well, I know I'm talking. I'm not maybe talking about all firm games, maybe even the away games. But that's what Kent. He comes alive in these big games. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe Celtic the next couple of weeks, whatever else. Do you know what I mean? They're all.
It was Malmo Ibrox last week. If it was their big game, mate.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But do you think he's off for Rangers? Do you think Rangers want to take money for him? And
I don't know, mate. It could be a slight injury. It could be a loss of form. I'll go to Port Bear with that. Port Bear. It could be a number of factors. Port Bear.
To me, the guy's he's a bit like Borna next year. All right, Gary, how we doing?
Hi, how you doing, mate? All right.
He's a bit like Borna to me. He's a confidence player. If things are going well, and you know, I can tell within 10 minutes what sort of game Ryan Kent's going to have. If he gets the ball and he's positive and he heads down and he goes and tries and beats 3 or 4 players, or he comes inside and has a crack at goal, I can tell when Ryan Kent's up for it. But so far this season, he's definitely not looked up for it. And that could be a number. I think Oxgear says it could be confidence, it could be an injury. You know, there's a number of things it could be. As he'd been turned, you know, other clubs showing interest. All different factors can test the players, mate. But see while he's pulling on that blue jersey, he's under contract at Rangers.
He's right, and Kent.
It owes us.
I would like to see right.
He owes the fans. He knows his gaffer to go out there and give it 100%. Definitely 100%.
He's been poor, mate, but he's not the only one. He's not the only one.
Well, exactly, mate. He's not the only one's been poor. The whole team's been. Well, I wouldn't say the whole team, but obviously, they've not been performing the way they should be performing. Do you know what I mean? And I think the boy, right? I think he'll be a player for us. I hope he has performance yesterday. I hope he gets his chance. I hope if he gets in the team, man. I hope he stays in the team.
Listen, if you're picking the team, and I don't want to go into Sunday because we're still talking about last night, but if you're picking the team on last night, Wright and Bassey start.
Oh, 100%. Well, see, they were saying that I was listening to that Football Phone in and all right, and they were talking about obviously you come to Celtic. Who does he play? Is it Bassey that plays, or is it Borna? I mean, and all day long in a big game like that, does Borna get the nod? And that's
it depends what Bassey does in the next couple of games, mate. I mean, he could play himself into the shot. If he plays well Sunday, plays well the following Thursday, it's his shot to lose. Port Bear then Bridge.
I go. You know, your gaffer's always said if you're good enough, you'll be in the team. And on form right now, it's 100%. Calvin Bassey is nailed down the left back spot. It's up to Borna now to, you know, rise to the challenge. Now, I said a couple of weeks back, Tav and Borna.
I was about to say that, Tav,
2 young fullbacks, quality fullbacks, man.
They're hungry for it, aren't they?
Yep, and it was only a matter of time before one of them got in, and with Borna's poor form, Bassey's took his chance. So, come, you know, the Old Firm game, and if Bassey's still, Oxgear says, if Bassey's still playing at that level, then for me he starts. As I say, it's Bassey's top to lose now, and a big top to lose right enough, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. It's the same with Patterson as well. Do you know what I mean? You were just wondering when this young boy's got how many chances he wants, and he's took his chance, and he still can't get a. You still picks Tav there. Don't mind, I think Tav won it, but with Tav's performance and all, you say with Borna and all, the two of them have been performing below half. What does he do to keep that jersey? Is he keeping it because he's the captain?
There'll be a factor of that, and it may. I mean, Tav was he got an assist for the goal. I didn't think he played particularly well last night. He never had. He kept bombing up and down. For me, the better game last night than he did last week. But what I will say is, and I'll bring Bridgman on. Bridgman, if you're ready with this, his crossing this season has been woeful. Bridgman.
It's just dreadful. His crossing and his free kicks, woeful compared to what he's been, you know. He's nowhere near up to form on them. And that needs to be nailed. That needs to be nailed down, because these are the things that's going to make him lose his place. Because the young boy Patterson is a lovely wee player, and it'll take him another 2 seasons to get to, shall we say, the level that Tavernier casually just plays, you know. But I think you could put that young lad into that team, and he'll give you a really good game, and he'll do whatever he can. I'm not saying he's going to be a star every week, but he's going to play for you. But certainly, right now, Tavernier, nowhere near a star. Nowhere near it.
Gary?
Yeah, definitely. I 100% agree with you. And if he doesn't buck up his ideas, and I just don't want to say it, but the fans just need to try and chill it and all, because everybody's always saying, "Oh, we can't play in front of the fans," and that's a lot of nonsense. But see, as mayor, we play Ibrox. I'm like, can they play under pressure? Can they play when they never had that season when you've got like 15 minutes to 20 minutes, because they've no. They're like, I have to say, right, we'll get it eventually, and they do eventually, but because they've not got the fans in the grunt to give them that bit of pressure, hopefully.
It depends what you make stats to be, mate. If you make stats to be the last 2 games, they've played their last 2 games at home, so have we. They've scored. They've scored. What have they scored? 5 goals, conceded 2. We played their last 2 games and scored 6 goals, conceded none. So it depends how you want to make the stats. Stats you can mean anything. We have to improve our performance. We know we're not playing right. 2 shots in target last night.
I know it was dreadful, wasn't
it? That's as a team, Gary.
Yeah. Of course, definitely. Mate. I mean, and when we speak about them and all, I mean, they've not played any. They've played Dundee, a team that's come up for the championship, and they're raving about in their world beaters.
And Hearts, who come up for the championship.
And Hearts, they've played 2 teams. Gradually Hearts away from at home. Tynecastle's always, we've known that and all. But Hearts were a bogey team that year. They went down. We couldn't beat them at all. But as you say, mate, they're 2 championship teams, and they've beat them at Parkhead. They've took success from Affy Dundee, and they're the world beaters. So I'm like, oh my God, here we go. But anyway, guys, thanks for taking my call anyway, and I'll let you go with the rest of your calls. And it's good for your show, mate. Right, thanks very much.
Cheers.
Right, good to speak to you guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Buddy.
Oh, what a nice call to start the evening, Port Bearer.
Good first caller, mate. Good first call. I always like to get the newbies in.
When I see some of the people that's waiting, trust me, they're not so nice.
Oh, who we got, mate? Who we got? I wonder.
What a shocker that is, by the way.
I tell you what we're going to do before we bring in any. He talks about last night and the game on Sunday, so we're going to hear for the gaffer. So get yourselves on mute, and we're going to hear from Stevie G.
Stephen, can you give us your thoughts on the match and how it's set up for next week?
Yeah, it is set up for next week. We've won the game 1-0 and kept a clean sheet, but the first half performance was so far away from how I needed it to look and how I wanted it to look. The players listened to what I had to say at half time, and I thought we got a reaction. I thought the crowd were outstanding, and we've gone on and won a game, but we should have made this game so much more comfortable than we have, and we've got ourselves to blame for that.
Mark, go ahead.
Big positive again of the goal for Alfredo. Can you quantify how crucial he is on these European nights, how crucial he's been on these European nights, the difference even?
Listen, he thrives in front of a full house here. He's done it on this stage so many times, and tonight obviously the goal is important tonight, but we need to make sure it's even more important by going in and finishing the job off next week. Listen, I'm not here to talk about individuals. I'm here to talk about the group. And the first half performance was nowhere near where I want it and where I need it to be. I had to be really honest in the dressing room. And we got the reaction from the players. But if we'd have got the right performance over the 90 minutes, I'd be sitting here in a much better position.
Adam, go ahead.
Stephen, do you have any further reflections on last night now you've had a chance to sleep on it and how you look back?
No, the game's done. We won the game 1-0. We need to park that up now and really focus on a tough league game away at Ross County at the weekend. So it's all about preparation and getting the boys in the right place for that.
Well, you have a new signing in place. What will Juninho add to the squad, and how do you see him fitting in?
He's a really big talent. Everyone should be really excited and looking forward to seeing him play. I think we have to be patient with him. He hasn't played much football of late. I think his last game was the 15th of June. We believe he's a big talent. He just needs the right support around him. He needs the right environment to keep progressing and growing. And I believe we've got the right staff and the right players in the dressing room to help him keep progressing. But really looking forward to seeing him play. He's an attacking midfielder. He's got good range of passing. He's a powerful boy. Likes taking it up to people and out playing. So he's got a lot of tools in his locker. If he can put everything around that and we can give him the right place to evolve, he should be a big player for this club.
Good morning, Stephen.
Morning, Mark.
You said last night after the game that, particularly with the second half performance, you didn't want to single out individuals. However, I was just wondering, perhaps it wasn't his best game that he's given you, but was that probably the most intense 45 minutes you've got out of Ianis Hagi?
I thought Ianis was superb for the majority of the game. He's in a fantastic place. He's had a full pre-season. He got that unfortunate kick against Livingston, which obviously set him back a bit. But the kid just seems to be growing and evolving every single year. He's the ultimate professional. He wants to learn, he wants to grow, he wants to get better. We all are well aware of the stable, where he's come from. He's got a real iconic father figure who he wants to follow in the footsteps of. We don't want to put that pressure on him, but there's a lot of traits in terms of his professionalism and how he goes about it, that he loves the game and he just wants to improve and get to the top. So he's a pleasure to work with, and we can see the developments in him every single season. He seems to be getting stronger. He's adapted to the league a lot better now, and his performances have been really strong so far. I expect him to have a real good season if we can keep him healthy.
In the aftermath of last night's game, obviously you would have had ideas in your head with your European squad and obviously the league and obviously the Celtic game coming up next weekend. Are you going to put that to one side and maybe worry about team selections for Thursday and next Sunday on Monday morning, or are you going to use your rotation at the weekend?
Well, look, I think I'm excited about picking a team for the weekend. I think it's a real interesting game for us going up to Dingwall. It's a game we're looking forward to. It's live on the TV. And that's my job, is to try and pick the right team selection. That's what we do. I'm not going to come on the media and give any clues away which way I'm going in any direction. But I'll pick the players that are in form that I think can do the job up there. It's as simple as that.
Hi, Stephen.
Hello.
Can you put an update on Ashton Sakala's injury, and also how are Namdi and Ryan Jack getting on?
Ryan Jack's progressing well. He's getting closer and closer, but obviously need to be patient with him. He's missed a lot of football, but he's one that we're really looking forward to having back. Ryan's a standard setter, someone who we've missed certainly this season. So we're looking forward to getting him back. Namdi has got further tests next week, so we're hoping for some good news in terms of the tests. But he's been around the group, he's settled in well, and we just need to obviously try and get him back in a safe way and be patient on that one as well. Sakala's got a bit of a niggle in his groin. I think he's paying for myself and the staff pushing him a little bit too quick, maybe, not getting a full pre-season, and we've pushed him in a little bit too quick, coming out of the hotel and putting him back into full training too quick. I think part of that little niggle's on me as well. So that's a frustrating one. But what we don't want to do is put him in while it's niggling away and make it worse. So hopefully he won't be too far away as well.
Also, can you give us a word on Ryan Kent? He's yet to hit the heights of last season. Is it a confidence thing with him just now?
I think that's a question you need to ask Ryan when he faces the media. I'm sure he'll be facing the media in the coming weeks. I think it's clear that he's not at his best level right now. But, as his manager and the staff will give him the support he needs to try and get him back in the best place as quick as we can. Ryan's been absolutely phenomenal for me and the club since he's walked through the door. It's very rare to see him when he's not in top form. But this is it. He's human. It happens. I had more dips in form than anyone out there. So I understand that he needs myself now and the staff and his teammates to get round him, and it'll only take that one bit of moment of brilliance or that one big performance, and he'll be back in the place we need him.
Good morning, Stephen.
Good morning.
Last night you said that even before tactics come into things, you have to show the right fight, desire, and be committed to show the fans you're all in. Are you concerned that this is an issue for some of the group currently? And if it is, how do you stop it?
I think I said earlier on in one question that we've moved on from last night. I've said what I've said. It's about the next game. It's about moving forward. They're the non-negotiables that you need to have when you play for myself, this staff, this club, this team, these supporters. So I expect that every game. Unfortunately, in certain areas of the pitch last night, we never got that. So let's hope it's a one-off.
In terms of Juninho Bacuna coming in, you've spoken before about the midfield needing to be strengthened. Can you tell the supporters a wee bit about what we can look forward to seeing in him?
I think I already have during his press conference. He's an attacking midfielder. He likes to get forward. He likes to make things happen in the final third. He's got a good range of passing. He's a powerful boy. Likes to take a shot on. He can create and score. So he's one we're really looking forward to getting down on the training ground. He hasn't played much of late, so we won't be throwing him right into the mix. We'll be patient. We're doing some fitness assessments on him this morning to see where his level's at. But he'll be within the group very shortly, whether it's next week or after the international break. And he's one that the fans can really be looking forward to watching.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from you.
But with a bit of last night, just to show the disappointment in his voice, and I don't think Stevie G missed some people again, Portbear.
No, not really so, Oxshire. I mean, I take my hat off to Gaffer when he comes out, and on many occasions has protected the players, and said it's on him and it's on his staff, and taking the rap basically for some of your players' performances. But sometimes, mate, there's only so much protecting you can do, before you start feeling that maybe you're getting thrown under a bus, and you have to show these players, this club expects better, he expects better, and that's what it takes to play for this club. Oxshire, you have to be 100% at all times. Gaffer's 100% right. And I think the fact that he dropped, Bornamy and put Bassey in, I think that's a signal of things to come. If you're not going to give it your all, you're not going to be 100%, then you're going to find yourself watching the game from the stands of the bench, mate. Fair play to him.
That was a big call. We don't know if Borna was 100%, but Bassey got the shot, and we'll see where it takes us. But fair comment. I don't think he missed with Kent. He said,
no.
We'll need to ask Ryan Kent. Yeah.
Yep, made it clear you'll be facing the media in a few weeks, and Ryan Kent's obviously going to have to, man up with his bearded chin and explain what's going on. Hopefully it's nothing, Oxford. Hopefully he's going to say, he has got a niggle or it is form, but he's going to need to answer his fans, basically.
Yeah. He does look really low in confidence, mate, to me. I think he didn't start the league campaign too well after a high, maybe Real Madrid friendly. Didn't go great for McTarnadise, and then the Malmo games, he wasn't great, and then he's got himself in the rut, mate, and he needs something to happen for him,
Aye, definitely. Moment of magic, like manager touched on, mate, a goal, something like that. Wingers are like that, actually. You've seen wingers throughout their careers. Wingers can be like that. Laudrup, Davy Cooper, to name but a few. There is times when they're frustrating as hell to watch, and then it's a moment of magic, and then they just go on, and that's the same for majority of the season. So I think Ryan Kent will be all right, mate. He showed us enough in the scenes he's been here, how good the guy is.
Mm-hmm. Bridgman, any thoughts? Okay, Portbear, aye.
Fighting with that button, sorry, fighting with that bloody button. Yes, my thoughts are that Kent, and I agree with Portbear, Kent really does need to, somewhere along the line, pull his socks up, which he always does, but I don't mean literally. But he needs to pull his socks up and get his game together, because that's not the Ryan Kent of even 5 weeks ago, 4 or 5 weeks ago. It's just a very, very pale shadow. Well, my thoughts are that, he could be holding a wee niggling injury, or B, somebody's in there with money for him. Something like that.
I'll put it this way, if they are, Vedder will be up in their offer in the last few performances.
No, that's for sure. I'm just meaning that it might be that he's been told there's an offer in for him and we're just under negotiation. Something stupid like that. And I don't know, obviously I don't know anything about the ins and outs of these things, but it might be something like that and it's just put him right off.
Just looks confidence to me, if I'm being honest, mate. Just looks a confidence thing. You know, Port Bear, no real clues what the team's going to be on Sunday, really, is there? Was there really?
There's definitely no, mate. Like you said, he'll pick the best team that he feels will get the result at Dingwall, mate, and I think that's what he'll do. I think they'll make sure we know they're a strong side, so he'll pick the team that he has to get that result, mate. And like you touched on, there will pull of players that will be dropped out the squad, in my opinion, mate.
Interesting. Be interesting to see where we are in a week's time, Bridger. Port Bear.
Aye, definitely. This is a massive 3 games next year. You've got Ross County, Aliskert, and then the big one at Ibrox. And I just think it's a massive week. You know, that's what I would do. I would just take it in a block of them 3 games next year. And these Rangers players need to show how important it is and how important it is to get these results required for our club to be, you know, at the top of their level, at the top of this league. Definitely, mate.
All right, we've been joined by Kenny. Evening, Kenny.
Good evening, Alex. I hope you did a good holiday, man.
Hi, Kenny.
Aye, really. I enjoyed it, mate. Well, I think I did. I can't remember.
Anyway, where do I start? I'm one of your serious colours. Next 3 games is going to define your season, by the way, right? The way I see it. Ross County, a must win. Must win next week over Europe and against the other mob next week. We lose a drop 2 points to Sunday, out of Europe Thursday, and it's been to me the season screwed. I'm going to be really straight about this as well. I'm going to lose from. I came on here 2 weeks ago, and the prediction for the team was I put Lewisham in the team after the Malmo defeat away. I've given them the benefit of the doubt. At that time, it was a big benefit of the doubt. He played against Dundee United at Tannadice. I watched the game in Leiden that afternoon with my son-in-law and my daughter, and hooked. Then he goes back against the Fairland. No big deal. This guy is our Joey Barton a few years on. Our Shane Duffy of Dame for last season. If this team doesn't get it right shortly, they're going to get. This team is going to be well. That's the deal. I think they're regressing the way it's going. There's no sharpness in midfield. It's all square passing. It's crab passing, I call it, across it. There's no thrust, midfield thrust. Defensively as well. And all right, they weren't really tested last night. Balogun, his passing is absolutely shocking. If it's not too long, it's out of play. He can read the game well. I'll give him that doubt. I'll give him that benefit. He can read the game. His short passing, if it does get it, it's like a cruise missile coming towards the midfielder. You can't control the ball. I mean, all over this team. I said it 2 weeks ago. I sound like a parrot every time I come on here. We are 3 players short. We need another defender. We need another striker. Well, hopefully we've got another midfielder. But it's a box to box. I went on about last season. We thought we had it in Zunga. No, we didn't. Up comes Lewisham, bounced up to part 2. You know what I mean? No, but look on it. This team is lacking big time. And one side in the midfield is not going to solve our problems. Because I'll tell you what, even last night, you've seen it again. There's one in the first half. It was something in Malmo. Above McGregor running, the 2 defenders too close together. You know, I think McGregor managed to get it. Same again in the second half. It was a fumbling. Defensively, we're no good. The goals team. 2 weeks ago, I said, right, we're another 2 weeks on. 2 weeks before it, Gerrard's the contract will be more or less the fans are led to believe, right, more or less a tight deal. It's still not signed. He comes on to Rangers TV, eyes rolling and all the rest. He can't answer the question, blah, 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 blah. I'm fed up on this bullshit. And it's uncertain the team, I feel. Kamara's a different ballgame.
Well, I think the contracts, we'll work my way back. I'll take the contract situation first, Kenny. I mean, we're in no control of that, and unfortunately now there's the club. That's something between Goldson and Rangers, and if he doesn't want to sign, he doesn't sign, and he'll walk away.
The best of sell the sell.
But what happens?
Dragged on too long. Sell.
What happens if he doesn't want to go?
Oh, they are. We're stuck with him. You know, he's his contract. I know he's scoring. I know.
It's the same thing that happened to us in the past, and we took the advantage of getting Lundstrom. Portbear, just briefly on the contract situation, it's just modern football.
This is the modern football, Oxgear, and the Guy Bosman changed world football when it comes to contracts and giving all the power to the players, because new players can run down their contracts to the last 6 months. Come January, Goldson can talk to whoever he wants, and probably demand a nice big massive signing on fee and a nice decent wage for himself, and away he goes. The power is with Goldson, but with Kamara on the other hand, he's got 2 years. He's got 2 years to go, so Rangers have the power on him. But at the end of the day, like Oxford, it's up to the two players. It's where they want to be. Can Goldson play for a bigger club than Rangers? In my opinion, no. He'll go to either a relegation team in the Premier League or a Championship side. And if you ask me, will be remembered for 55. But his whole Rangers legacy will be tarnished if he leaves your club and goes to a lesser club just for more money.
I don't see him even making the Premier League for the Premiership. I don't see him making it, didn't I? I think he'd be lucky with the Championship team.
No, it depends what he's been advised. But I understand fully Kenny's sentiments. Obviously, the manager still trusts him, Kenny, because he keeps playing him.
Oh, he's missed the consistent last season, you know. I think he probably his best game of the season last night without being outstanding, you know. One or two good passes.
I don't think the centre backs were put under any real pressure last night.
No, they weren't. But here comes the test, right? They are going to get tested over the next 3 games, right? And what I've seen so far, you know, to me, defensively wise, Rangers right now are pretty shocking. They're lucky. If it wasn't against a better team last night, they've been cut out twice at least. Through boys, simple boys through, you know, and McGregor running off his goal. Seen against Malmo. So we have to strengthen it. I said it 2 weeks ago. I always sound like a parrot when I come on here. We need, the Bridgman said it for the last year or so, we need a good quality centre half, a dominating centre half. We need an out-and-out poacher. I said that as well. And hopefully this midfielder, but we're still looking at that box-to-box midfielder. Because this character Lundstrom, by the way, you know, I've got my motor revved up ready to go to Auchenhouse to take him back down the road. Because this guy is not going to make the grade. I've seen it all before.
At the moment, the jury's at Big Style. You know, Big Style. And
so where do you play that guy? He obviously can't play alongside Davis. I mean, the two of them, you know what I mean?
It doesn't look like that at the moment, mate. He's not done anything to justify a position in the team. I thought I could understand why he played last night. He had a good performance the previous Friday, Portbear. But I get that. Suspensions and injuries maybe took him in the team. Form-wise, he's way off at Portbear, but he's not the only one, is he?
No, he's not. And sometimes, Oxford, you can only use the tool you've got in your box. And Gerrard's brought him up to be a player to play in European games and big league games, but it's just not what to do at the moment. I mean, if you think about it, we've not basically had the best side of your team last year was probably left side with Borna, Kamara, and Kent. And we've not had Kamara hardly in the team. He's been in and out because of suspension in Europe, and then obviously back in the league games. There's no any consistency getting built up. Our midfield's not playing together. and there's no understanding between them yet because it's always chopping and changing every week due to suspension and the league situation next year. I'd like it to settle down, and I think once we get a settled midfield, he gets his favourite three, strongest three. I think
that
we see a
was great
difference.
news about Ryan Jack not being far away, mate.
Aye, I thought it was excellent news, absolutely fantastic news. But that puts the pressure right on to John Lundstram again, doesn't it? Because that's I've always said that right hand outside your centre three. You've now got Ryan Jack who's coming back. They're saying Bacuna can play that role. You've got John Lundstram there, and you've still got Scott Arfield that can play there. So effectively, you've got four players that can play on that right side of your three. So it's exciting times ahead, mate. I'm glad Ryan Jack. It's great news about Ryan Jack, mate. Really great news. But John Lundstram is going to have to, use Bridgman's words, pull his socks up and get his, get his form.
You've been very, very polite there, Portman.
Yeah,
very polite, Portman.
Listen,
I'm being
Kenny,
diplomatic.
Listen, Kenny, always great to speak to you, mate. We'll catch up with you soon, mate. And great points you made tonight, brother.
Yeah.
Right, okay, right. Good night, guys.
Thanks, Kenny.
Speak to you later.
Cheers.
Bye.
We've been joined by Big Stevie. Briefly joined us. How we doing, big man?
How are we, lads? All right? How's things? Everybody good?
Aye, big man.
Aye, Port Bear. It's that time of the year again for Port Bear. Pulls his socks up, if you know what I mean.
Well, lads, listen, I'm on 3 points, 3 quick points here, if you can let me get them out here. The first one is I was sweating like Pavarotti in a cake shop trying to get a ticket for tomorrow, and lo and behold, the Rangers Radio family pulled together and they managed to get me one, but I'll not embarrass anybody to say who got me it. But the two boys in question, thanks very much. I'm totally and utterly over the moon. It's made my weekend that I've managed to get a ticket to go and see my team. Believe me when I say it, I tried absolutely everything. Being a bronze member, I've tried every nook and cranny and everything. I've even tried moving town and
bronze member.
Being a bronze member, I'm just on the podium as well, and I've managed to get a ticket. But I'm wanting to ask if Southside can keep me right here. Do I need my passport to go up to Dingwall tomorrow? Am I okay? Am I okay? Am I still okay? I'm not wanting to rub any salt in anybody's wounds, but I want to shocker.
What a shocker.
My second point is, I don't know if you can remember a couple of weeks ago, the global ambassador said, keep your eye on the post, Stevie, you've got something coming. So lo and behold, I opened the door today. What a day I've had, guys. What a day. I've opened the door and the postman there I bought, and I'm shaking away the box that I can hear it rattling about. So I've opened it up, and there's a card right at the top, right at the top of this box, and it says, no Pope of Rome, right? And I've looked under it, and there's every single chocolate bar Australia could make. You might the amount of chocolate bars. Open the card that says, enjoy your weekend, Megan.
I've seen a picture, mate.
Fair play. Can I just cut across you? Blue Star, if you phone in once more, we'll bar you. Stop phoning. Right, carry on.
Blue Star got a taxi in the drum. You can eat something nice chocolate.
It might cheer him up. Listen, what? Obviously, Big Al's caught your photo on Facebook and thought you needed a bit of feeding up. You know what I mean?
Well, I've lost a few pun. Come on now. I'm not putting my clothes on with a boomerang anymore. So, no, honest to God, guys. See the care
between me and you. How did your spray tan go the other day?
What? See, I put my talking about true stories get mentioned on the radio. I'm need to go and get my eyebrows done for Dingwall. Listen, honestly, Big Al, she's cared. On the front of the cairns, a kangaroo with a bottle of beer. Big Union Jack. Absolutely brilliant. It brought tears to my eyes, so it does. But listen, guys, what a day I've had. I got a ticket for Dingwall. I got my chocolate for Australia. And honestly, absolutely fantastic. The Rangers radio people, man, take a bow. Absolutely brilliant. But listen, get on about our team. We just need to remember, guys, I know everybody's got a point. Some are rash, some are kind of all right. Look, it is what it is. We were great last season. It was an exceptional season last year, but we went right through everything and no lost a game or nothing. This year we've not started great, but these players don't become bad players overnight, guys. Just something will happen, we'll click and we'll get back on the right track. The only thing we can do is support is get behind the team. If we keep booing players and we keep booing them at half time, and listen, it's no helping. We just need to sing the way we did before we get the goal and spur the team on. And we need to do that. And by the way, I'll need to put the pumper upper trainees on because I'm going to be doing the bounce at Dingwall. There's only 1,000 of us, you know. But anyway, I'm looking forward to it. I just thought I'd come on and thank the boys and thank the Global Ambassador for his wee gift. But the kangaroo, absolutely brilliant, man. I wish you'd see this photo of the kangaroo with a bottle of beer. Guys, honestly, absolutely fantastic. Listen, I'm going to love yous and leave yous. Get behind the station, get behind the Rangers. That's all I can say, guys. And thanks for letting me on to tell you.
Cheers, mate. You're looking smashing. You're looking smashing, big man.
So I'll tell you the now, by the way, it's EasyJet Orange I went in for. I went mental, so I have. I think it's the 12th of July. I'm glowing. I'm like a ready break, man. So am I. But anyway, listen, that'll be for Dingwall. At least Southside, when he's the away end, he's the home end. He'll look out to the away end and he'll see a big orange fat guy. He knows that's me. Okay.
Big Stevie, with a shoulder.
Take it easy, big man.
Right,
Cheers,
I'll
mate.
let you go, guys. Okay, thanks for having us. Just a wee quick one. Thanks to Big Al and the two boys concerned with the ticket. Over and out, guys. Have a good night. Cheers.
All the best, mate. Cheers.
Oh dear.
Oh, what a man.
What a great gesture for Big Al. Obviously, yours is still in the post, Port Bear Bridge, man. You know what I mean?
Aye, it must be, mate.
Don't
They
get
probably
tomorrow,
send me,
you might get a parcel. You know what I mean?
probably send me Bristol, mate, wouldn't they? That's what they'll send me. That's
What a
real
great-
business, Bristol.
What a great gesture for the Big Al.
Aye.
What
aye,
a great sense
definitely.
when the Big Ian's got. Yeah.
Aye.
You know, but and good to see Bears help Bears out for tickets and that when they can, you know.
Love it.
Good to see, but what a man, Big Steve is. And he's right. People are disappointed, frustrated is a word I would use, Bridgeman, with our team at the moment. We're frustrated.
Very much so. Very much so. Yeah.
Port Bear?
Aye, as Oxford, I think it's a couple of wee factors. Obviously, the way our last season went, so you're still on that high at you. You're thinking, you know, we should just roll on and everything go through pre-season. Everything will be hunky-dory again. We roll on to next season, and then I think what's obviously happened with the dip in form, and then I think a lot of people are panicking. I think Kenny touched on it. The other side of the road, after not a bad start, looking, you know, allegedly, not seeing anything myself, mate, but allegedly looking, you know, dangerous and decent. So I think these three factors are playing a lot of Bears' minds, and I think some are overreacting, and I think some are, you know, seeing it how it is, like we do. You know, we critique what we see, but you know, they'll be back up here. This team, Stevie touched on it. Nothing. This team's never become a poor team overnight. A game or a moment of magic with certain players, or a great bit of football where we go and dominate a game and win it 3 or 4-0, just installs confidence back in the team. That's all we need, mate. We just need that game to fire us, and we get that game that fires us. We'll go on from strength to strength, in my opinion, mate.
All right, okay. Well, get yourself a mute, because we're going to have a tune.
boys of Scotland, the most in football's history. We've got the battle fever on until the game is won. The spirit of those truth will carry on. In charge, you've got Steven Gerrard. 255, he'll lead us all the way. Scalping the terms at home at Ibrox, and even in the piggery. We've got the battle fever on until the game is won. The spirit of the truth will carry on. Let's go! Inside the blue sea of Ibrox, we'll cheer you on to victory, as we did in Barcelona, and the first of 9 at Pictory. We've got the battle fever on until the game is won. The spirit of this truth will carry on. We've got the battle fever on until the game is won. The spirit of this truth will carry on.
Well, welcome back. How we doing, boys and girls?
Welcome back, my man. I'm glad to be back.
See, I'm back.
There he is.
Moon rising. Brilliant.
Aye, okay. All right, if people want to give us a call, what's the number, Bridge?
The number's 0141 356 1972.
Yep, come and join us, give us your thoughts. We'll see where it takes us. I think everybody's frustrated. You know, I get it. Not just the results, the performance as well, Port.
Aye, I totally agree with you, mate. I mean, what about yourself? What do you think? Can you put your finger on it? Can you help us understand what's going on?
I can't, mate. There's a complete lack of tempo on the side, mate, which I can't put my finger on. And I know Bridges get theories that it takes X amount of games, but every team's in the same boat, you know. And you can't blame injuries or suspensions because everybody's got them. We've got key players maybe missing and who have done particularly well for us in Europe. Kamara, Ryan Jack. Obviously, Roof is a guy to come in, and that is maybe a factor as well. But we'll still get guys that have been there and done it, and they just look sluggish. Sluggish. I don't know if that's the right choice of words, but that's what I'm watching.
No, if you remember, I said this on the show, I think, on Monday night. I think most Rangers fans, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, I can tell in the first 10, 15 minutes next year what sort of game we're going to have. If we come out the traps flying and, you know, we make a few chances and Ryan Kent gets the ball, or, you know, Hadji gets the ball, whatever, and does a bit of magic, makes a cracking pass, goes and beats 2 or 3 players, whatever it may be, whoever it is, or we get the early goal. I know how the rest of the game's going. But if we get past that 15-minute next year, I sit and I go, here we go again. And then it's all the slow, as you said, all the pedestrian passing, all the slow side-to-side stuff. You know, it's frustrating to watch, mate. But that's my opinion on how I see Rangers so far this season. I think they're pretty predictable in the first 15 minutes. You can see what you see is what you're going to get.
I mean, we haven't played well. Well, that's not true. We played well, which we reckoned looked a good start for 10 against Real Madrid in a friendly, but we've not took any of that into the league. I think we'll be joined by Andrew. Evening, Andrew.
Evening, guys. Evening, Port Bear. Evening, Oxford.
How are we doing, Andrew?
Evening. How are you?
Aye, good, mate. Good, mate. Apart from that last night, what's on your mind?
Just a wee bit of it last night in Gerard's interview. For start, it was certainly the angriest I've seen him in any of his interviews. The last time I seen him pretty as angry as that was when we drew with Livingston in the fourth game of the season last year. And then from then on, we were absolutely relentless. That game, that was a game that sort of gave us a kick up the backside. But this season, it doesn't seem to be doing that. It's no the game. We've no started well. Defeats and draws haven't, you know what I mean? Defeats or whatever bad performances haven't gave us a kick up the backside that we need. So you asked last night, was it complacency? I thought in the team. No, I said I just saw it certain individuals. And I want to know, after the dust is settled, do the panel think it's the same?
Let's run through the players and I'll just hit or miss this season so far. Hit or miss, yeah. I'll take that on the bridge yourself just quickly. McGregor, hit or miss. Port,
hit.
Bridge. Oh, I forget.
Yeah, he's a hit. For me.
Right.
For me.
Yourself, Andrew. Yeah.
Oh, you hit. Yeah.
Yeah. Tavernier, Andrew.
Miss.
Port.
Miss.
Bridge.
Miss.
Right. Goldston.
Miss.
Miss.
Oh, sorry.
On you go, Andrew. Yeah. Miss.
Yeah. Miss. Yeah.
Yeah. Port.
I'm still going to say hit, Oxley, because he still defended well.
Right. Okay. Bridge.
Hit.
Right. We'll put Balogun and Lander together. Yeah. Bridgeman.
I hit for if the two of them were together. Yeah, I hit.
Hit. Port.
Aye, hit. Yep.
Andrew.
Hit.
I don't think Balogun was great against Malmo, to be honest, but I get where you're coming from. Borna, he's a miss for me. Port.
Miss.
Yeah. Andrew.
Miss.
Bridge.
Miss.
Calvin Bassey. Bridge.
Massive hit.
Port.
Bassey, great hit, yeah. Yep.
Andrew.
Biggest hit yet. Yeah.
Yep, okay, so we've got some misses in the defence as well. So then you got the midfield. John Lundstrom. All agree, miss?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. Stephen Davis.
Hit for me.
Hit for me, mate.
Andrew.
Hit.
Well, we played Arfield, we played Kamara, we played, who else has played in there? They four, basically. Aribo's played in there a bit. The rest of the midfield, are they hitting a miss? Port Bear.
I would say the rest of them have been a hit, mate.
I'm saying.
Right, okay. All right. Okay, Andrew.
A miss.
I'm in your camp, Andrew. I don't think we're fired in midfield. Up front, Alfie. First of all, he's come back in. Bridge.
Well, he only played 1.5 games, so yeah, but a hit for me. He scored 2 goals.
He's played more than that, mate. That's his 5th game now or something, isn't it? No, the D United and then bit against Dunfermline last night, mate. But he's a hit for me. Port.
Always a hit, mate.
Yeah, Andrew.
Oh, an absolute hit, yeah.
I don't even think I have to insult you by asking you about Ryan Kent. Agreed?
Yep.
Miss? Yeah?
Miss, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then we've had, in the right hand, we've not seen enough of Sakala. Roof's come in as cameos. Hadji's not running the team because of his injury. They've not necessarily played bad, but they've not added anything really to the team. Hadji done well last night. So I would say that other area is a miss as well, if that makes sense, Port.
The right side for me, mate. You know that. It's been a problem for Gerrard come in. So a miss, yeah.
Bridge?
Yeah, miss, yeah.
Yeah,
miss for
yeah,
me.
and collectively.
Yeah,
so there's a lot of misses in there. You're maybe up to 4 or 5 areas in the team. You know, so you win a game as a team and you lose as a team, Andrew.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. This is why I think Sunday is so important. We must come out as a team, play as a team, not for 45 minutes, for 90 minutes. Play as I say, like yesterday, when Alan McGregor went in to get the ball, to get his whatever, his towel or whatever it was he had, his water or whatever, and he went in and he was shaking his head in the net at half time. And you know, we need a kickstart for full 90 minutes and put on a show. We really need to, and it might kickstart us.
Here, mate. Here. Listen, great points made by Andrew there, Port Bear.
Aye, Andrew's becoming a regular caller, mate, and he always comes in with very good points. Well done, Andrew. Appreciate that.
Cheers,
mate. You look after yourself, brother, all right?
I will do. Right. Take care, all guys.
Right. Cheers, mate.
All the best.
Cheers, Andrew.
Right.
I'm just going to see all the calls tonight. It'll be nice, but we've been joined by Carl. How are we doing, Carl?
Still the same.
All right.
Pretty good. I mean, in the cold light of day, well, it's evening now, you know. I couldn't sleep last night because I think I'm losing my hair watching Rangers. I just don't know. There's something terrible lacking. I mean, I had a Tourette's attack.
Can you put your finger on it, Carl? Can you put your finger on it? Can you put your finger on it?
My one hair?
No, your finger on what's wrong with the team.
I could put my finger on my hair to find out what's wrong with Rangers. I think we need a big psychology check, because we've always been talking, we've got a good squad, and he'll play, you know, what he thinks is the strongest team. But the ones that are playing bad don't seem to be getting dropped. You know what I mean? Like Ryan Kent. I like Ryan Kent, but he's not been kicking a ball. He can't get by a man.
Well, I know you said they never get dropped. I would have played him last night. I would have started him, and Gerrard hooked him at half time, mate.
I know he hooked him at half time. He could have been hooked after the first try. He tried to get by the guy because I knew his night wasn't gone well at Port Bear. You can what, you know. And about the 19 shots, you know, off target, or 19 shots, 2 on target. But we seem to do that. We seem to struggle against teams that sort of sit in against us regular. We have a lot of shots, but they're nowhere, you know. I don't know, but I have a question for you.
Yes, mate, on you.
Is it on Rangers TV on Sunday?
It's been advertised on the main site. It's been on Rangers TV, yeah.
Because I tried to go on the day to book it, and it still wasn't up, you know, so I'll try tomorrow.
You'll only be purchasing it in the UK, mate, live.
Aye, but I got the game, you know, yesterday on it. I should have.
You could purchase last night's game, but you can't purchase league games live, yeah.
Are you sure?
The positive last season, it was only last season we could
do that. No, for this season, you know?
No, mate.
I'm pretty sure.
No, but it might be on the telly as well. Let me try and check, yeah?
I don't think it's on the telly.
No, it's a Sunday game away from home, but I think it's moved because of our fixture. But it was always going to be Sunday. It's Sunday at 3 o'clock, which is very unusual, isn't it?
No, because I think they're on the telly, the other mob.
Oh, they're at home.
Aye, but you can be on the telly when you're at home. We were.
It's very unusual, mate.
I know it's very unusual.
Aye,
what was the other point? You know, I think Massey's had a good game, but how are you going to tell if Borner's ever ready? If you're out the team, how do you prove you're good enough to get back in? This is what I can't work out.
That's always the same, mate. That's always
aye. You know,
if somebody's in possession, they're in possession of the jersey.
That's how I feel. I thought the wee boy Wright was great last night when he came on, but then again, this could be flash in the pan and all. We've had enough of that, and I quite agreed with the comment about this one's our next Joey Barton. Lundstrom, I don't rate him at all, but
so far,
see, I'm no into this English Premier League's the greatest players in the world, the greatest. I mean, I watch a lot of their games. Well, try to, and you go, that is absolute crap. You know, there's some games that are good, but it's usually the lower teams. The top teams, you go, no, they're just cancelling each other out. You know, so I'm quite happy with Scottish football. Not really Scottish football, Rangers football, and that's it. Well, good night, lads. Have a nice evening.
Wait a minute. Just to let you know, the match is not live on TV. Yeah, a match tickets can stream the game via pay-per-view option at RFC TV. The pay-per-view price is £15, and fans can purchase it.
You know what that's for? That's going through their TV up there.
Ross County TV.
So I had to pay that the last season. I don't mind paying it, but I prefer Rangers getting the money than them.
We don't own the rights.
Thanks a lot, Ox.
Right,
good night, lads. I hope you have a pleasant weekend.
You too, Cal. Speak to you soon.
You too, Cal.
Cheers, bud.
Bye-bye, Bridge.
Cheers, pal.
Good night.
Good night, Jerry.
Good night.
Good night, John Boy. Did you hear that, Port?
I did, mate. She's probably giving me daggers. Off at you. Good night,
Well, you know what it's like, mate. You know what it's like.
Oh, aye. I certainly do, mate. I certainly do.
Are you saying that Port Vale's under pressure at home then, Oxshire?
Just the same pressure the rest is are under, Bridgman.
Oh, not the same as me, that's for sure.
Not the day right enough, Oxshire. I'm getting spoiled today. I'll be late after the least today, you see.
She took your tag after you for the
day. Don't go about bragging now, Port Vale. Don't go about bragging.
She might hear
tomorrow.
She might hear me.
Exactly, yeah.
Wait till she gets a bill in me. Rangers shop on it, Rangers shop on it, Rangers shop on it.
I need to see the bank statement.
That's a killer. That's a killer, boy.
You're not the only guy I was speaking to today who gets stung for a tap for his lassie last night, mate.
I know.
You know, but aye. But everybody's, you can feel it. People are frustrated, aren't they? And we go through the team there. Tav, mixture for the rest of the defence. Borna get a miss as well. Obviously, the midfield, we know it's no function on the left hand side as most of the season, or the right. Davis is only maybe the one that's getting pass marks. Up front, really, there's been no consistency there, Port Vale.
Aye, I think that's the biggest issue so far, Oxshire. I think once everybody's back from suspension and we start getting back to playing, Sunday, Thursday, or Saturday, Thursday, the UEFA, and then I think Rangers just seem to get into that. That's what we're used to playing under Gerrard, because we've always been in the Europa. Obviously, we missed out in the Champions League. It's been Wednesday, Sunday, but it's going to be Thursday, Sunday again. I think once we get into that groove and everybody's back for suspension, I don't think we'll be anything to worry about, mate, because the consistency will be there. The squad rotation will be there, which we're used to again over the last few seasons, and things will just click into place. But we just need a game to fire us. We just need a game to fire us, mate, and I think we'll be okay. I really do.
Aye, I mean, if we win our next 3 games, or if we win our next 2 games, even if we win our 2 league games and even draw the European game, people look at things differently, It's results. But results haven't been great, and that magnifies his performances, Port.
Aye, because we've set a standard now, that's the thing. That team set a standard last year, a standard that everyone else will never forget, and we're proud of that standard. And when all of a sudden you go below that standard, it's a bitter pill to swallow, mate, because you expect more. But every season's different next year. We started off
last season. It's gone, mate. It's gone.
It's finished. Aye, exactly. So we just need to find that, whatever this missing link is, whatever this problem is, get over it and get back to form, because we know these guys have got it in them.
Okay, let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Okay, aye. It'd be great to hear from some new bears, wouldn't it, if they're listening? We always like some new bears, I believe, phoned in last night.
Oxshire, can I ask you a question, you and Bridge? Just regarding the gaffer's comments on my...
Don't make it too hard, mate.
Just regarding the gaffer's comments on my number one boy, Hadji.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think he played last night? And do you agree with the gaffer? Is he improving in understanding the league season on season?
Right, I used to say the jury was out on Hadji. Is that
Yes,
fair?
that's fair, yeah.
And the jury's still out for me.
Mm-hmm.
But what I will say is, you can see that the boy's improving in his attitude and his understanding of what he's got to do. Yeah, he's always had the skill, mate. And then if he can get that and become consistent, we'll have an asset in Bridgman, and then we've been joined by the global ambassador, Bridgman.
Yeah, I think Hadji had a really good game last night. I'm not saying he was a star man and all that, but he had a really good game. You can see the way he's starting to play. He's very physical. He's turned out to be quite physical, and I think he's being targeted. That makes it even worse. There are a number of times last night it was just taking out the game a couple of times, you know.
And how that guy wasn't booked and then sent off.
Absolutely. Unbelievable.
You know?
Indeed. There's a number of really seriously bad tackles, and he's a target because of his name, the stature of his family's name, and somebody's just going to wipe him out, and they will do it continuously. But he's playing. I think he's playing very well, and I would go as far as to say that last night's performance, probably the best performance I've seen from him in a Rangers jersey. That's it.
Okay, talking about guys who always perform well. We've been joined by Big Al. How are we doing, big man?
All right, gentlemen. It's Sir Willie Wonka here. How you doing?
By the way, that was fantastic. You big man. It did bring a smile to a lot of faces.
No worries, man. You've got my email. Drop me your addresses, and I'll send you some UN parcels.
No, it's just the big man. You know, he looks as if he could do with some food parcels. So anybody wants to send him a food parcel.
No, he's into his fake tanning and that. There's a thing here you get called Bondi Sands for men. It's like a fake tanning. It's a gradual mousse. You put it on, and gradually over a week you get a tan. You don't even need to go outside. If Port Bears one, I've got a condiments one I can send him. All different gravies and sauces and that.
A condom one, did you say? A condom?
Condiments one.
Condiments, okay.
Bridgman, you always
Thanks very much, Joe.
I've got soft jellies for you, Bridge, because of your wallies, and I've got a raw meat one for Oxchair and Big Jimmy.
A raw meat one.
Some kangaroo burgers.
Listen, mate, Fox said if you send it to the Burnside, all folks will be okay. Oh dear. Listen, mate, give us your thoughts on the team, mate. You're obviously, it would be fair to say that sometimes you can be scathing, but we're not disappointed at the moment. Yeah.
No, I'm not to be scathing now. Look, there's something all right. There's a few things I think.
Put your finger on it, big man.
No, I think that's the problem. I think there's two or three different things. I was talking to before I came on the show, talking to your lovely assistant there. That thing with McGregor, when McGregor spoke, McGregor's our number one goalkeeper, isn't he? I don't think he was too happy being dropped. I think this rotation thing's can be good some ways, but I don't think it's good for us at the moment. I think you've got to play your best team. The Connor Goldson thing, I think the thing with that is it's all conjecture as a fan. None of us know exactly what's happening. If he comes out and says, "Look, I'm going to play," just be honest with us. Play out the rest of my contract. I'm not going to sign for another contract with Rangers. Pardon me. That'd be fine, because then it's honesty. We all know where we stand, and I think that would maybe loosen him up. With this dragging out for so long, I think the club's got a bit to play in that in regards to. But they should have had it sorted for the beginning of the season, right? And he's got a responsibility to be honest with the fans. And as I say, I think that would maybe loosen him and allow him to play a bit better. Calvin Bassey, I think maybe the positives that we need to look at as well. I think Calvin Bassey's proved himself as a better player the last two games. I agree with what Bridge said. I like Hadji. I think Hadji is a good player. I think he's starting to mature as a better player. Looks a wee bit more of a leader. We might just need to be playing slightly different. And also, I think maybe we peaked last year. Some of the players peaked last year. It's maybe all you're going to get out of the players. And the signing policy, the drips and drabs, the injuries that we've had, players coming into the team getting injured, i.e. Sakala. I think he brought a freshness and a big smile to a lot of people's faces. It's been disappointing that he's not been in the team, because I would have liked to have seen him a bit more. He looks very quick. He looks a bouncy, jovial character. I think players like you need in the dressing room and certainly on the field. This new guy we've got, he might do all right.
Only time will tell with the new guy, yeah.
Well, the Lundstrom, the two mistakes he made, or the first tackle, the second tackle was very similar. He shouldn't be doing that. That's him very frustrated. I think he knows himself. He's not playing well. So I think they two think they're just frustration.
If you're not playing well, Al, I get that. If you're not playing well, right, and the first book happens, frustration, you do it, yeah. Right, you're maybe 70 yards for your goal, and you do it again.
I know.
It's no frustration, it's childishness, yeah.
That's what I'm maybe not very eloquent enough at explaining myself, but look, I think that there is a player there, and I think I'm keen to see him be a good player for us. Every player I want to be a good player for us, but they two mistakes, man. What are you doing, mate? Fuck, that's really bad, you know. It is really bad, and as you say, it's not unforgivable, but he needs to know, look, come on, you need to pull your socks up here. And is that his position? Because for me, he seems to hug that wing. He's always on the byline. Is that where he was playing with Sheffield Wednesday? I don't think he was. I think he was playing near central.
Aye, but I also think he gets too close to Stephen Davis, Port Bear.
I found last night.
That's what it looks like. Port.
Yeah, I said that. A few of my pals today were talking about it. I think.
How many pals?
A couple, I said. I just said a couple. A couple.
Two balloons with faces
You're
on
adding
them.
a couple on there, eh? Port Bear, you're adding a couple in. Phantoms.
One's a Wayne's Teddy and one's a Wayne's doll. Anyway, last night I think Stephen Davis was wondering what John Lundstrom was doing last night, because to me he was almost like central, which was Stephen Davis was obviously pushing a wee bit further to the left, wondering what he was doing, because I think John Lundstrom, to me, he should be on the right side of our three. And like Al said, when he played with Sheffield Wednesday, he did play on that role, and he went and joined in with attacks, scored goals, assisted goals, etc. But for some reason, he looks absolutely lost, and you're not going to tell me that's Michael Beale and Steven Gerrard not getting the message across, because he'll be coached during the week and he'll be spoken to before the game. This is where you have to play. This is what we expect. This is your job, who you have to mark, etc., etc. But last night he just looked like he didn't know what it was today, and he was absolute void of any understanding of where he was to be last night. And I think that showed in the home midfield, because Stephen Davis, I don't need his greatest game. He's always a steady 7 or an 8 week to Stephen Davis, but even he looked frustrated last night, wondering, where have I to go? What's my role tonight? So I totally agree with what you're saying. I don't think the two of them could play in the same team, not so central anyway.
Here's a question for you, Zor, before we bring in our caller, just quickly. I'll go to Big Al first. Do you play Lundstrom to see where it takes you, or do you take him out the fire line? I've got my interviews. Big Al.
I think you've got to play him. I think so. I think I'd play him. But I'd maybe make a change. I'd maybe give Stephen Davis a wee break for a week. And
would you start Lundstrom on Sunday?
Aye, I'd start him. Right.
That's a big call. Port Bear.
Well, you've had the chat with him, so he needs to. Then after that, he's in trouble.
Understand what Al's saying. I really do respect his opinion, but I think he needs to be taken out of the firing line next year, because social media. And Steven Gerrard's maybe got a date for his own good. Take him out, sit him on the sidelines, and let him see what he expects. Sometimes for the sidelines, mate, you can watch a game and understand what your role is supposed to be when another player's playing your position. Say it's Arfield, who plays that right-sided role and has done very well for us for a few seasons. Sometimes you're better sitting on the sidelines, mate, and watching to understand the role that we expect him to fulfil. So for me, and for his own good, I would take him out on Sunday.
Bridge?
For me, I would. I have to say I agree with Portbear on that. There's certain players of just no clicking. I think clicking's the right word for it. We know they've got all the skills. We know they've got all the ability, but sometimes it just ain't clicking. And in this case, it isn't clicking. And what Portbear said is probably the nicest thing you could put it is to keep him away from it for his own good.
All right, okay. We've been joined by Bostar, who an apology. It was the him that kept bringing it. It was somebody else. Sorry, Bostar.
I was just about to pull you up for that. I only rang in once, and then you says I've been calling in.
You've been telling everybody your band, by the way. You've been telling everybody that your band was.
I know. Shocking. It was somebody else that kept phoning and annoying the technical team. How we doing, Bostar?
Not bad. Life's hard at times, Ox, as we all know. I was interested in listening to the guy, Kenny, it was on.
Uh-huh.
I came on last week after the Malmo game. I had a bit of a go, and a few of the guys didn't like it. It was almost as if you shouldn't be criticising your team. Well, I don't go along with that. We're entitled to an opinion. Bottom line was, Malmo was a disaster. And as it's turned out, you're all going to see it's going to be an even bigger disaster, because the money side of things, we're struggling, guys. And MD at Disney think we aren't they? We're kidding ourselves on. As times went on, that game against that Ali shirt, I'm sorry. I don't go in for this rubbish about our manager coming out and saying, well, it's time to pull our socks up, etc., etc. You could tell, any isn't knowing about football, you could tell after 5 minutes they were never going to raise their game. Now, if our players aren't coming out for the first whistle, mate, and they're playing in front of a full house, and you can see straight away, I'm sorry, I do question it, because the desire
Who do we question? The players or the management, mate?
Oh, it's a bit of both, Ox, because somewhere along the line, Stevie G's he's either not getting into them hard enough, or the players aren't listening. Now, I'm adamant. You looked at Tav and you looked at Goldson when they came after. Now, whatever happened there, I don't know, but they were having a go at one another.
Which is not a bad thing, is it? Which is not a bad thing.
No, absolutely not. What my point was going to be, I want to see that on the party box. I want to see that during the game. I want to see one of them having a right go the way McGregor does. McGregor was getting torn into them. The rest of the guys are just, it was as if they were just going through the motions. And even, let's be truthful here, we all know when we're playing well and we all know when we're playing bad. Even the second half, you couldn't say we played well. We didn't. We had a wee bit more desire and a wee bit more urgency, but we certainly didn't play well. The bottom line is, we're playing against a team. Now, Malmo was, I don't know how many levels above that team, but a good few. The bottom line was, we did not exercise our honesty, our duty, our skills, anything at all. The boy, right, the Bassey, there was a couple of plus marks. Yes, there was. For me, she went round hitting misses there earlier on. See, for me, our midfield has been nothing short of absolutely shocking. Forget this, what Bridges saying about that they're not knitting together. It's not to do with knitting together. We keep getting told how strong a squad we've got. Ox, everyone here need to own up here. We've not got that strong a squad, because when the top players are out, the so-called top players are out, the ones we're bringing in aren't good enough.
Who's the top players then?
Well, see, for me, without a doubt, and the very fact you said that, you know that yourself, it seems to be since he goes out the team, where midfields fell apart.
Maybe we don't realise how good a player he is, Bostar.
Absolutely, Ox, and I said that last week when I was on, mate. I says it's only when you've seen the guy out of the team. He must hold a lot of things together. He certainly hangs on to the ball, and he very rarely ever wastes a pass. How many of our players last night did you see with easy balls, with no an opposing player near them. How many get kicked out of the park instead of finding their own players? I couldn't believe it.
I've got to be honest with you, when I look at Kamara and I watch him playing Port Bear and the way he glides and he looks so comfortable on the ball and he passes it and makes the game easy, it's like looking in the mirror.
What, my mirror?
Oh my God almighty, the Rangers fans are falling about laughing by that one.
One of the magic mirrors at the fun fair,
Exactly.
I forgot you were there, Big Al.
I'll go back and snooze.
It is true, but I don't think he might be the glue that helps. Sometimes, look, Kamara never played well at the United. Is that fair? Both in Port Barry, didn't he? He didn't have a great
No,
game.
he didn't, no.
But he's not any consistency because he's been in and out of the team because of Europe. Unluckily, Port Bear.
Aye. Kamara, mate. You know my thoughts on Glenn Kamara. I think he's the best midfielder in this country by a country mile. I think we've sorely missed him. I know after last year and stuff, he had outstanding season. You can tell he's been skilled. We all know he was skilled at Arsenal. You can see that quality in him. And in all honesty, he probably should be playing in a much higher league than he is. He's Finland's main man. And a lot of times, Oxtear, he goes so unnoticed in there. We always rave about Stephen Davis, but we always forget, I suppose, how big a part and how big a cog Glenn Kamara is. He's quick, he's strong in the tackle, he links play well, and his understanding with Davis, Barisic and Kent, that whole left side, mate, is great, and he's probably the glue that keeps it all together because he helps Kent so much and he also helps Borna so much. So undoubtedly, Glenn Kamara is a big miss, mate, 100%.
But Star, is it any coincidence then that maybe Borna and Kent are not playing when Kamara's not been there?
No, I wouldn't say that about Borna and that. Ox. For me, Borna and Tav, what I would say about the two of them, I'd never question Tav for effort, never in a million years. But what I would say is the both of their crossings been absolutely woeful. And when Bassey played at the weekend there, it was the one thing you noticed about him. He put 4 balls in, and the thing be scored for you. Let's be honest, he couldn't miss. Their crossing ability has just went right downhill. But again, Ox, for me, honestly, it's a midfield. You can't blame Roof. For the games that Roof's played, the guys caused all sorts of havoc. Alfie, for what he's been on, as you said earlier, for the couple of games in the minutes that he's played, he still puts himself about, even when he's been quiet. Yes, certainly, no doubt about it. The first half the other night, he should definitely have done more, but then so should 90% of the team.
He never really got a ball.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Again, you've got to question the rest of the players, But the midfield, Ox, for me, I thought the guy Lindstrom, I didn't even know much about the guy, to be honest. But every Rangers fan I knew kept telling me he's a box-to-box player and he pushes. Well, I'm sorry, mate. I haven't seen him once gone from box-to-box. The other night, he wasn't even on the ball. He's 2 bookings for, and we all know you can get a rush of blood. That wasn't even a rush of blood. I don't know what he was trying to do there. It was simply because the guy got the ball and was running away from him. I mean, we're playing against a team that we all know, and we can't dress it up any other way. That team are very, very poor, and yet for periods in that, and for periods in that game, you've got to call it as you see it. They were stringing the ball about far, far better than us, and you're going like that. Is this for real?
Mm-hmm. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're named mugs, but they're an average side, and when we get the ball, we should hurt them. But you're right, the creativity's missing, our finishes missing, our shooting's poor. Big Al?
Aye, you're right there. But I think we still have. I thought the first half Morelos was. I think it was about 25 minutes before I noticed he was actually in the park. That tells you a lot about the rest of the team supplying him with the ball, I think. Aye. But I think we've got creativity there with Hadji, right? But he seems to rotate players. You know what I mean? So I think that maybe, is it players being familiar. I know they're a team and we've been together a few seasons, but still being familiar on the park. If he's chopping and changing players, I know there's been injury and things like that, but I think you've got consistency of players running about you. I think is helpful. I would like to see Wright starting. I'd like to see Hadji starting. I don't know what's happened with Ryan Kent. I still don't think he's a bad player. I think you've got to keep playing him to get over this wee bump, because only a few weeks ago he was not Megan played for Real Madrid. So with Kent in the team, with Roof in the team, with Hadji in the team, with Wright in the team, with Morelos in front of the guys, that's a very creative team in the final third, I think. I think play them and let them gain confidence, but play them for a block of games. Play them over these next 4 or 5 games. Mm-hmm. See how you go.
It's a real... We've got ourselves in a conundrum here. We've put ourselves under pressure, Port Bear.
Can I just say something, Knox? Just one thing. And
yeah.
I do think everybody, and as a fan base, we're all overthinking this. And I think we've got to bear in mind as well, there's a lot of people there that are trying to make us overthink this. I've kind of stopped looking at the newspapers and things like that, because maybe say about 2 weeks ago, there was a lot of waffle in the papers saying that we're not a bad team and you know, we're not going to retain the league. That's all crap. That's all bullshit, because we are still a good team. I think we just need another week or two just to bed a couple of other players in and get us. So I think there's a lot of waffle in the background. I think a lot of us are paying head to that.
Do you think they're just that formal? Do you think it could be that?
Just aye. I think it's just as simple as that. Aye. I think it'll come good. I think.
You mean it's not a source close to Ibrox saying this, that, or the other, that kind of thing, yeah? Or the rumours in the press, yeah?
No, I think that's all made up, is it not?
Exactly.
All these Gordon Parks and all that, they're making bullshit up. But I think people are listening to it, if that makes sense. Aye.
Aye,
and that's then creating another thing, like.
Mm-hmm. Aye, well, the negative spin, where a wee bit of disagreement with the press, they're not going to look at you favourably, are they?
No, but we didn't need the press. We've got fans media, we've got Rangers Radio, you've got Ibrox Radio, you've got all this. I think it's quite refreshing if you just look at that.
Mm-hmm.
You just look at that.
The one game that was an eye opener for me, and I'm being serious here. It wasn't even the Malmo game. See the game I was absolutely shocked at, and I came on the show to say against Dundee United. Whether we like it or not, they were in the championship and they came up. They're okay. They're playing against the big boys. Then they're playing against the champions, and they came out and they went at us. For the first whistle to the end, Ox, we can't deny the fact they were all over us like a rash, and for whatever reason, our whole team couldn't handle it. We certainly couldn't handle it. Yes, the last 5 minutes in that we had a few chances at their goal, but for the whole match, they were first to every ball. Now that all comes down to, that's not down to ability, that's down to desire and want.
But their goalie hardly made a save that game, mate.
Exactly, but that's desire and want, Ox, and that's my point. Our manager then comes out and says, well, they'll need to play better, blah, blah, blah. And you know what I think of Stevie G? But the fact of the matter is, as times went on, it's all right saying, well, the first 4 matches of last season we were a bit duff and then we went on a run. Whilst that might be true, the fact of the matter is this time, we're in a wee bit of a jam. I've not seen anything to make me think that we're getting out of this jam anytime soon. I honestly haven't. When was the last time we played a full 90 minutes? I couldn't even tell you, because even the end of last season, we never played 90 minutes for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying? So you've got Ross, you're away to Dingwall, and then you're away in a 5.5-hour flight. He's going to have to play more or less his best play, his team, to get us through this time before, hopefully, they can score goals quick so he can take a few of them off. You're no sooner back, and then you've got them at Ibrox. It's mounting up, and his players have got to stand up and be counted now, because it's beginning to get to him. You can see it in my own manager. I've never seen him so despondent as I have the last few games.
Aye, it's not an easy job being a manager. Talking about guys who are despondent and it gets to them. Well, been John Andy for Leeds. Evening, Andrew.
Evening, boys. I'm quite calm, actually. I'm more disappointed in it else, to be honest with you. I think I've totally underestimated. I was only 6 goals out from my bet late enough, but... How
did you go for 7-0, did you?
I went for 7, aye. Well, they're realistic on 4 right enough, but I always do the daft ones, as you know, right enough. But you could see from the first 5 minutes, as Potts said earlier on there, the problem with Rangers is if they start badly, they can't go up the gears. It's more frustrating than anything else, I mean, because really they are a bad team, but what you've actually give yourself now, you've got to get a good result on Saturday. You're going in there in that heat and all that. They shouldn't bother us. I think Rangers should score a couple of goals over there. But, you know, if it gets Tuesday and let's say we lose our first goal or something like that, you know, strange things can happen. I wouldn't be surprised. I think we'll get through this. But I don't think it's going to be a great European run in the group. You know, I think it could be one of them years where we're going to be hit and miss this season in Europe. We must get into the group for a bit of money and hopefully get out of it. But they don't look right. They haven't looked right from the start, right from the Tranmere game. I know we were, you know, people say, it's only the first game. I said it straight away at Shuggs. I said, this isn't right. They don't look right. Shuggs just said that Gerrard's not. There's only the last 2 press conferences really give where he's looked a little bit upbeat. He's looked pretty down. I think he's frustrated with Kamara and Golston not signing and certain players not turning up for him. Ken, you know, I mean, he's got to drop some of them now. And I mean, I'd have Patterson and tomorrow Tavernier for me. No, he did nothing against him, you know, so I'm just frustrated more than anything else. There's no point getting mad. I just got a funny feeling it's going to be a bad team. Well, what worries me right enough is all the work we've done and we're going to let these walk in and walk straight into Europe. That would be horrendous. So hopefully they'll turn it around, they'll get their act together, you know. Aye,
okay. I get your point, mate, but if we can win our next 2 league games, mate, we'll be 3 points clear of them, yeah? So
yeah, different story then, isn't it, if we win the next 2?
Yeah, but we have to put Dingwall to bed first.
Yes.
Blue Star. Sunday's a big game, eh?
Oh, well, Bridge man's a man for that. The next game's the biggest.
We'll take a Bridge man Sunday, but I want your team for Sunday, Blue Star.
Right, I think he'll need to start with Tav, Goldson, Helander, McGregor in goal, and I would still go with Bassey. Midfield, go to be Kamara, Davis, and Kamara, Davis. Who else would I put in there? MD Bar Arfield, sorry, but no, definitely not for me. Up front, the boy Wright's got to play, Alfie's got to play. I would even go with Roof as well, because I still think Roof's a natural goal scorer, and I think he's out his injuries. I think he's done enough in the game, the minutes that he's played. In fact, I'd go as far as to say, danger-wise, I think he's been far more dangerous than what Alfie has. But Alfie's better at linking up, I would say. And that leaves me one, doesn't it? Well, you're left with probably Hadji.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if I was picking a team, if it wasn't Dingwall and you know the type of team you're getting, Port Bear, it would be Tav, Golson, Helander, Bassey, and it would be Hadji, Davis, and Kamara, yeah, or Aribo when Hadji plays, and then you've got the right hand side. Do you play Hadji? Do you play Aribo, or do you play Roof there, Morelos and Scott Wright now? Because I think Kent should be on the bench. Port Bear.
Aye, it's similar to the team that I'd have went for, mate. I've got Tav, McGregor in goal, Tav, Goldson, Helander, Bassey, Kamara on the left, Davis obviously pivot, and I've picked Hadji for that right hand slot, mate. In my front three be Wright, Morelos and Roof.
Yeah,
that'd be my team, mate.
Andy,
I think. Sorry, mate.
On you go. Carry on.
I think he's got to show. Andy touched on. I think he's got to show that if like he did with Borna, if you're not playing up to the standard we need, then maybe a wee shot on the sidelines won't do you any harm. You'll get to see what sort of level we're looking for, and Wright deserves his chance. And Hadji, on his performances so far this season, deserves to be in the team, and his creativity, mate, is second to none for me.
All right, Big Al, you don't like being your predictions of your teams. Andy, no, he doesn't.
Yeah. Patterson, I play Patterson.
You've been saying that for a while. Andy Felix.
Yeah, well, I'm going McGregor in goals. I don't see any reason why we should put Tavernier on current form, and you know what you're going to get off of Ross County. I'd have the boy Patterson in, Bassey on the left, Big Islander in Golston. In the middle, I'll be taking Davis, Kamara and Aribo, and up top it would be Wright, Morales.
Sorry, but the person you've called isn't available at the moment.
Wright, Morales and Ruth.
Yeah, okay, aye. It's funny, isn't it? Our problems seem to be front to middle, Blue Star.
Yeah.
So the defenders we want to change.
I know. And you're right, because that's what you said earlier on there, and I was laughing and listening to you, because it's right enough, you know. It's a weird one. It really is, and as you said, that's the dilemma what managers got.
Blue Star, can I ask you a question?
Certainly.
Do you think since Bassey's came in the side on that left hand side, it's added a bit of freshness to there, a bit more excitement for us?
Without a doubt, Al, because the one thing I do like about them as well, and you know they're going to be quite tough up there as well. The one thing that's good about Bassey, he can handle himself. He doesn't take any nonsense, but the guy can run. And the one thing he's definitely raised to his game, his crossing the last couple of games has been terrific compared to what it was last season. The games that he got on.
So going with that logic, we need a bit of sunshine in the team. That's one of the reasons that I would play Patterson as well.
Yeah.
That's why I'd play Patterson. You know what I mean? That's why I'd play the young guy as well.
Absolutely. I just don't see our manager that more captain.
No. Well, that therein lies the problem. That's the manager's problem. But for me, absolutely. I think Bassey's brought a bit of sunshine to the team. And I think Patterson can do the same. Like youthful exuberance in the team. Wright's got it.
I just don't see it happening now. I really don't. I think.
I know, but why would the manager know? Why would the manager know?
I think.
Why is he so loyal to the players? Why? What does Tav do? Does Ty come in? Does Tavernier come in and do his dishes?
It's the same with Goldson now. When does Goldson ever get dropped? It just doesn't.
I know, but I don't think we've got a player there.
We've been joined right at the end of the show with Baloo. Evening Baloo, you obviously he was there, and he's disappeared again.
Can I come in there, Oaks?
Yes, Port Bears.
I think we've got to remember Blue Star now. I think these two have been, in my opinion, Goldson and Tav, they've been Gerrard's lieutenants, if you like. They've been his right-hand men, probably in the dressing room. What we might not see is how big a characters they are in the dressing room, at the training ground.
Welcome to the O2.
That's the only reason I think these two guys seem to be immune as well to getting dropped out the team, because there has been time when Goldson...
That can backfire on you.
I know.
That can backfire on you. Because if the other players are seeing Goldson not signing a contract and wondering what's happening with him, well, why should we look at it? If he's meant to be one of their leaders, why should we look at him? Because his attitude and that isn't right.
He's off.
And also, if the form is dipped in your captain, but the captain doesn't get dropped, well, the other players are like, well, if they've not got to drop him, he's not got to drop me. If that's the example, I think if action has to be taken, you have to take action with it and use them as the example.
Yeah,
because that's what I would do at my work. If it's not happening, I'd take the figurehead and take action with him.
Right, well, gentlemen.
Sorry.
No, not at all, Big Al. Listen, once again, thanks for that gesture for Big Stevie. I know he's really, really touched, big man. He asked to come on tonight. and thank you on there, and it made us all laugh, mate. It made us all laugh. Brilliant.
No problem, man. Just send me your addresses.
Port Bear, don't send Bridgeman's yours, Al. You'll not get rid of him.
That's no worries, man. He's a more than welcome. Port
Bear.
Aye, another great night. Thanks to all the callers, all the Facebook lobby as usual, all the ones on YouTube. Can I give a wee special mention to my good lady, 16 years married today, and obviously my good pals that are listening in, Neil and Lorna. Good night, and thank you, everybody.
All right, thanks to all the callers. I'm going to go to Bridgeman, but just before I go to Bridgeman, thanks to all the callers and the callers who couldn't get in tonight because we were so busy. Over to you, Bridgeman.
Oh, what can I say? Another marvellous night, wonderful night. Well done to yourself and your techie team and the guys on the panel, Port Bear and so on. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world, particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, this at the weekend is the biggest game of the season. Every single week we're going to say the same thing. Next game, biggest game of the season. We've got to win it. We've got to win it. So everybody, keep the support going for the Rangers because the Rangers really need us, and they really do. They really need us. Keep it going.
Once again, thanks to all the callers who called in this evening, and thanks to the people who were trying again. We'll speak to you soon. Thanks to Port Bear and Bridgeman for hosting the show, Fox and All School Blue for doing the technicals, GB for doing his bit in the background. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back at 2 o'clock on Sunday with a pre-match show. Thanks for listening. Take it away, All School Blue.
Who's that team they call the Rangers? Who's that team they all adore? They're the boys of loyal work and the stompers gallant and the hunt to show the world what they can do. Some people say the Almadrid, the biggest football team, and even hear the Anderlecht, the best they've ever seen. The Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur too, 'cause Arsenal, Chelsea,